at all of this. You know, it's someone who may be a bit disaffected by the Tories at the moment saying, well, I'll vote for a different party for local elections, but when it comes to who's going to run the country, it could actually be a different story.
That's certainly true, and we know that a week is a long time in politics. The next general election is expected not for another couple of years. However, the mood music is what really matters, especially as MPs return to Westminster and start talking not only to their colleagues, but also to those people that may be in their constituencies who may have lost their seats at the local authority level. Now, that could change the mood music in Westminster, and clearly last night was a difficult night for the Conservative Party. What might be something that makes it less of a drubbing than it otherwise might have been, particularly for Boris Johnson when MPs return, and looking at his position in Westminster, is that so many Conservative-held areas were not up for election last night. So really, if we're looking at the sorts of places that were voting, they did tend to be the areas where the Labour Party holds seats. It was London, it was the North East, and indeed, if we look across the big areas of the Midlands and many other parts of the country, potentially Conservatives won't be so affected by the results last night, simply because they didn't happen in those areas. So if we're talking about potentially letters going in, potentially the position of the Prime Minister, maybe that might be a little bit too soon. There's still a lot to happen, not only what happened in England, but of course the results that we're going to start seeing trickling in from Scotland and Wales later today and Northern Ireland over the weekend.
It's interesting, isn't it, that we were joking earlier about how when you interview politicians the morning after election results, they always spin it their way, no matter, you know, even if they were drubbed, if that's a word, is it? Drubbed?
Yeah,
received a drubbing, yeah. It works, thank you. But, I mean, even if they did really badly, they still always spin it that they did well.
Oh,
so you could argue, from what you were saying, that actually the Tories didn't do nearly as badly as you might have thought they would.
Well, this is the interesting thing. If we were to talk to any Conservative yesterday, they'd be saying we're going to do absolutely terribly, we're going to be wiped out across the country, and the Labour Party saying, oh, it's a really tough set of elections for us, we're going to do really poorly as well. And now they've sort of both swapped, and they're saying exactly the opposite thing because those votes have been cast. Now the Conservative Party is saying, well, actually, Labour is going backwards in the Midlands and the North, and that, oh, we were going to lose Wandsworth anyway. The parliamentary seat associated with Wandsworth fell to the Labour Party last election in any case. So we're hearing these arguments, but ultimately, yes, this is a lot of spin. This is absolutely the parties trying to make it seem like it's a less bad situation. There are some legitimate arguments that the Conservative Party can make here. For example, there is a very difficult global economic situation. This is 12 years into some form or other of Conservative rule in this country. Mid-term elections, as this is, tend to see the opposition parties doing better. However, very clearly in London, the Conservative Party were hoping to at least hold one of Westminster, Wandsworth or Barnet. And as we speak, it appears they've lost all three.